Hello, my name is METİN. This is 99th part of explanation of my theory. According to my theory and my formulas, if black hole had singularity, it wouldn't have mass and density. 1. Matter without mass and density. Matter is meta-sensation perception matter that I put forth. For example, an at-rest object is the action of meta-sensation perception matter's intrinsic motion forms that occurs in our subjective reality. Matter is the universe also. Matter or universe has no void. Matter is not object that we saw day to day. 2. One of mass definition is the amount of matter, whereas there is only unique, single, indivisible, directly unobservable matter that I put forth, and I named that meta-sensation perception matter, and it is not plural. 3. Moreover, matter is not the energy. 4. Mass and density are not properties of matter. Mass and density are not properties of meta-sensation perception matter. Shortly, they are not properties of matter. Mass and density are not intrinsic properties of the matter. Matter has no mass and density itself. Matter means meta-sensation perception matter. Meta-sensation perception matter is real matter. Objects that we saw day to day, impressions or phenomena, are byproducts of interaction of intrinsic motion forms of meta-sensation perception matter that transferred our subjective reality as effects. Yes. 5. If it is so, where the mass and density come from? What has mass? What has density? 6. In fact, mass and density are byproduct of meta-sensation perception matter's intrinsic forms in reaction. Then we are our subjective reality, and all of our sensations and perceptions, all of our living experiences. Therefore, all objects that we saw and all darks or emptinesses that we don't sense are byproducts of these interactions of intrinsic motion forms of meta-sensation perception matter also. If there were no intrinsic cyclical repetitive spherical electron motion forms, if there were no intrinsic cyclical repetitive spherical electron motion forms or electron-like motion forms, in meta-sensation perception matter, there wouldn't be mass and density. These motion forms, electron motion forms or electron-like motion forms, give rise to mass and the density. if there were no intrinsic cyclical repetitive spherical electron motion forms of meta-sensation perception matter, there wouldn't be mass and density. If we mention mass or if we mention density, we mention about electron motion forms, not matter, not meta-sensation matter itself. 7. What has mass? Meta-sensation perception matter's intrinsic cyclical, spherical, repetitive motion forms have mass, and at the rate of their amount, their density increase. 8. As long as it saves. Remember, this is motion form. Remember from my former videos. As long as it saves its cyclical repetitive spherical motion structure, the electron motion has total mass, point mass in c direction, point mass in linear velocity direction, but when the electron motion form loses this cyclical repetitive spherical structure, and when remain as a motion arrow only, at that time electron motion forms spherical motion structure and its mass lose. This is the case the electron motion forms thrown from black holes as neutrinos that I put forth and I have told in my former videos before. 9. When the electron motion form loses its cyclical repetitive spherical shape and its mass, the answer is when the electron motion forms displacement. Again, when the electron motion form loses its cyclical repetitive spherical shape and its mass, the answer is when the electron motion form's displacement velocity exceeds the speed of light. The jets become there. This means all successive waves of free electron motion form stay behind electron motion arrow, and they lose their successive waves effects and their mass effects. 10. Finally, eventually, if we will mention the mass and density in the universe, there must be electron motion form or electron-like motion form. Black holes are... yes. Finally, eventually, if we will mention the mass and the density in the universe, there must be electron motion form or electron-like motion forms. Black holes are gathered and intertwined and elongated electron motion forms that make joint cyclical motion, whereas descripted black hole shape and black hole singularity shape, whereas descripted black hole shape and black hole singularity shape has nothing to do with electron motion form that I put forth, whereas descripted black hole shape and black hole singularity shape has nothing to do with electron motion form that I put forth. The mass and the density cannot be properties of the black hole and its singularity that wrongly depicted and described by accepted physics theories. I advise you to read my writings that I read now that I tell you now under this video. Have a good night. See you later.